Kasi 183.
Ano yung maganda? Parang ito muna.
Wala naman eh, pero parang pinag-combine. Ewan
ganun, di ba? Yung asterisk ng konti, sharp. Meron gagawa ka ng sarili promo. Yan yung sarili promo.
Sakto, balance.
Ano sakto status? Piling ko naman yung sakto status. Space.
Final 10 minutes.
Ano yung kailangan lang pa? Ayaw ko ito.
Kasi pag may pag-success, pag may balance, siset na yun. Hindi ganun. Bawa na itawag mo yung matawag.
Apang nabutan.
Kasi pala, look into hindi, kung meron extra hindi, ginagawa ko na.
Magkain na ako. Tama na yung sa buwan na ito. Mas maliwanag. Oh, ito. Oo. Yan. Ito. Sa kanya. Gusto mo? Mas maliwanag. Ano na?
Iba lang bato tapos
Kasi chewing ko gamitin sa pagtigil ng buko.
ang sundin, kasi may pangalan. Para ano sa nakabili.
Sa Singapore, ano na lang? Papasok ko mas natin.
Dating regular election minutes. Kasi ganito number na to. Pinakat ko yun eh. Naging inclusive. Yung announcement sa pero yung hindi na sila level kasi naging isang ganun lang. Yung tabi na kaya tapos tinago ko yung pinag-iwan. Kasi babalik ko sa
Balalag. Ano nga may balalag?
Hello, Mike. Mike. Hello, Mike. Hello, Mike. Hello, good morning po. We will start our forum this morning. Sige lang po, okay lang po. Hindi na lang po natin sa labas pa.
Pati yung ano yung reviews, yung natin, kasi sinacharge ko siya. Record na. Sorry ha? Pati ba? Kasi nandun pa rin, busy na kayo
Good morning, everyone, and in behalf of IECEP-Manila chapter, we'd like to thank you for attending this PECE forum. And at this point, may I request everyone to please all rise for the invocation. You may now all be seated. And again, good morning and welcome to the ECE Forum sponsored by IECEP-Manila Chapter. Opening remarks, may I call on one of the Board of Directors of IECEP-Manila Chapter, Engineer Dennis Cabasan.
Good morning to everybody. It's good to see you once more. I see a lot of familiar faces. Usually, ito yung usual na dumarating. And I've seen the list. So we're expecting about roughly 40 to 50 participants coming here. So we are grateful for taking time to participate in this forum and leaving behind some of our precious time for work and family, and of course with the objective of upgrading our capability and capacities in the field of our professional practice. This is supposed to be a forum. It's not a technical seminar, so we are expecting that there will be an interchange of ideas. So we hope that we learn from each other. We as resource speakers, facilitators, would bring out what we have in the industrial experience. And from you also, seeing the list, most of you, or I think all of you, are also in the industry or have their own employment or job. So we hope we will have a very productive discussion and forum today, and we'll be able to upgrade ourselves so that we'll be able to face the coming challenges, especially for the full implementation of the ASEAN integration by the end of this year. So thank you for being with us. Again, good morning.
Thank you, Sir Dennis. And to formally start our forum, to introduce to us our speaker for this morning, may I call on the former Vice Governor External of IECEP-Manila Chapter, Engineer Ann Dulay.
Always ako. Good morning, everyone. Before I present the first speaker for today, I just would like to answer some queries I was asked earlier by one of the participants, and perhaps there are some of you, I see new faces.
Through a BMS. Papa, I turned it on, but walang hangin. Yung return, no, pag gano'n, mainit lagi yung return ko, di ba? But I turned on the air conditioning already. There's something wrong. See? Information is registered within the DDCs. Okay, just hang on that thought. What is the DDCs? Okay? It will be stored and evaluated in the BMS workstation. Again, documented because you have a computer, di ba, working on it and monitoring it. Kasi nga, automated na yan. Walang pwedeng makapagsabing, hindi nangyari yan. Didn't happen. Okay? So walang ganun because everything is registered. Okay? Walang man intervention na pwedeng doktorin. Even printed reports for trend loggings, okay? Equipment and system performance, alarm notification are produced during operation if system failures or abnormality. Okay? Because now we have the sensing devices. This is the basic schematic diagram of a building management system. Okay? Ayan po yung kanina ninyong mga sinasabi at sinasabi. Okay? Wherein you have, of course, in any automation, you have the workstation. Okay? Workstation. Dito natin nakikita yung alarm, monitoring, and event logging. Okay? Yung kanina natin dinidiscuss po, no? You could have integration of the fire detection and alarm system. Okay? Yes, that is true. You have definitely, sabi nga, di ba, meron tayo ngayong requirement for fire alarm system, no? We need to design this fire alarm system separately. But the question there is, paano ba natin yan i-integrate para meron tayong full automation within the building that we are handling, no? So there's an integration. I'm sorry to say, hindi natin siya kasi very in-depth detail to, no? When we say integration, no? There's a separate discussion dapat yan. At least 30 to 1 hour, no? How to do the integration, okay? But yes, kasi meron tinatawag tayong mga protocols for communication on how to communicate a fire alarm system with the building management system. But yes, this is true, this is workable. Na pag merong fire dito sa area na to, you could automatically turn off the air conditioning system via PMS because it is integrated. Okay? Daylight sensing with automatic on-off for light controls. Okay? Light controls. Okay. Chiller system. This is the biggest thing in terms of PMS. Kasi yung kanina po natin dinidiscuss about 50 to 60% of the energy is consumed dun sa air conditioning. And nung 50 to 60% na yun, 80% nun to 90% nun is on the chiller side. Yan po yung napuputos kasi ng cooling. Okay. Just a brief idea for everybody's information so at least you have an idea of air conditioning systems. Dalawa lang naman ang schematic lagi ng air conditioning. Okay? There is a cooling and there is a blower. Lahat yan, ganyan po yan. Regardless of what type, kung sinasabi natin, centralized chiller system or yung tinatawag na air-cooled condensing system. Okay? Ganun lagi po yan. A blower and a refrigerant for cooling side. Ang pinagkakaiba lang naman dun po kasi sa system na yun, yung dito sa cooling side. Chillers are the most cheapest, not actually cheapest, but I think during the time, before na nitong recent technology about yung mga inverters na naririnig nyo ngayon, no? It's the cheapest approach in terms of operations. Okay? And most energy efficient. Kasi ang nagpapalamig po doon sa ating hangin, kaya sabi ko sa inyo, sa inyo kanina, we have a cooling and then we have a blower. Imagine niyo, di ba, yung idea na meron kang yellow dyan at meron kang electric fan. Di ba? So, pag umesto yung ka doon sa after ng yellow at may electric fan, di ba malamig? That's how simple it is. Okay, ganun yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina. The only difference is, common lagi ang blower or yung fan, common yan. Yan yung nakikita nyo lagi na, yan, tulad yan, may mga naririnig kayong hangin na lumalabas, yan yung fan side. The difference is on the cooling. Centralized chilled water, meaning yung nagpapalamig doon sa hangin, chilled water system. Yung nagpapalamig doon sa water is the chillers. Okay. And then there's also a difference na yung chillers, meron siyang tinatawag na air-cooled naman. Okay? Yung air-cooled, yan yung mga wala kang nakikita malaking tori sa ibabaw ng building, tinatawag na cooling towers. Wala yun ha. Yun yung tinapag air-cooled. Ang typical ng mga air-cooled systems yung nasa bahay natin. All of those, yung mga maliliit, are called air-cooled condensing unit types. Regardless kung window type yan, split type yan, yan, mga air-cooled condensing. Ibig sabihin kasi, ganito po yan. Every time you compress a refrigerant, di ba? Yung refrigerant, may nangyayaring process din of compression, decompression. And ano naman, yung charge flow, pressure is directly proportional to temperature. Di ba? So when you compress, there's a temperature increase. Kailangan mo ma-compensate yung temperature increase na hindi dapat uminit. Kaya pinapalamig ulit yan, yung refrigerant, para bumalik to sa form niya ulit, ready for compression. So ang nangyari po sa system na yun, you have either yung cooling tower, no? Pinapalamig mo ulit yun via cooling tower, or air-cooled lang talaga, yung hangin lang nagpapalamig sa kanya. Okay, so that's the idea. So Sorry, no? That's the idea about it, about the... So huwag nyo naman, ano lang yan, information on your part, pero yung designs doon and details ng problema ng mechanical engineer yun. Okay? At least lang, being engineers, practitioners tayo dito, alam natin. Di ba? Alam natin ngayon. Okay, I understand. Mr. Mechanical Engineer, okay, andyan, kausap ka, no? You are now exploring yourself to be a consultant na. Everybody can be a consultant. ECE kayo, di ba? Or ECE, okay? ECE under supervision, ha? Under supervision of a PECE, okay? Mr. PECE, I have a mechanical design here which needs PMS. At least pag nakita mo yung plano, you have an idea right now. You have an air-cooled condensing unit system. Okay? You have a centralized. Ganun ba? Di ba? At least we understand right now. Okay? Before I go on to sa other life safety systems na nabanggit kanina earlier, other facilities that is integrated in the BMS are the genset or generator sets. Even the mga switch gears nila, minomonitor po yan ng BMS. Ano yung minomonitor? For power consumption. Ano yan? Di ba nakafocus tayo sa energy? We're monitoring the power being consumed. We are monitoring the amount of current flowing. Kasi, kawawa naman yung mga electrical engineers, every time that there's issue, faulty electrical wiring. Okay? Ang laging kaso ng ating BFP, the other day I was discussing yung sa BFP, yung mga inspectors. Sir, ma'am, yung mga kapatid naman namin, kawawa naman eh. Lagi na lang sa report ninyo, faulty electrical wiring. I-discuss ko siya kung bakit hindi pwede explain. They were laughing. Okay? They were laughing. Okay? So, if you have a BMS, you will be able to immediately know na, yung genset mo nag-overwork na. Diba? 258 kVA lang yan. Lumalampas ka na. O bakit bumigay yung gano'n mo, genset mo? Kasi at this period of time, nag-exceed ka sa load mo eh. Mga gano'n. Okay? Your transformer is overheating. Overloaded. Or maybe there's a problem. Okay? About to explode na yan. If you have sensing devices, okay, for integrated or connected to the BMS, you would know that. Okay? Yung mga switch gears na yan, kasi yung power eh, meron silang classification of power. Yung mga high voltage, okay? Eh di ba, pumapasok lang naman sa atin lagi 220 lang. Pero yung mga sources niyan, mga high voltage, kaya meron tinatawag na high voltage and low voltage switchgears. Kasi doon sa mga grid ng ating power companies, okay? Kaya tinatawag siya ng mga 150 kVA, 38.5, ganyan, no, na ini-step down yan after papasok sa mga building. So kaya meron silang tinatawag ng mga switchgear. Okay? So we monitor those kasi lalaki niyan. It's very dangerous. Okay? Very dangerous. Once that explodes, laking issue. Okay? Pumps and tanks. Pumps and tanks for life safety systems like the fire protection. Yung mga sprinklers, when I say kanina, di ba? MEPF is mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and fire protection systems. Fire protections are the sprinklers. Yun po. And nakikita nyo lang yan, sprinkler heads na lang yan. But below it, there are tanks. Itong building na to, no? Tanks and pumps. Okay? It is very important that that should be monitored, that it is in always operational mode. Kasi pag ang problema natin yan, life safety natin yan eh. Pag nagkaroon ng apoy dito, okay? Okay, sabihin natin nagkamali yung design ng ECE sa fire alarm, hindi nag-alarma, hindi na-evacuate. That is the second natin protection the sprinkler eh. Okay? That needs to provide water na eh. Paano kung yung pump pala na nagpo-provide ng water na nagpo-push ng tubig niyan sira, or yung tank below this building is empty? Diba? If you have a system to monitor that, that wouldn't be a problem. Diba? Kasi we even monitor yung tanks no, na high level ba o nasa low level? Okay? Pag nasa low level, it should alarm. Or there is a system that should provide water dun sa tank ng sprinklers natin. Okay? Pumps, is it always working? Makikita naman yan eh. is working. Sa kuryente pa lang, makikita yan. Okay. Utilities metering. This is additional peripheral integration in the building management system. Okay? Sabi nga natin, we want everything integrated in one viewing. Even the consumption, no? For example, this is applicable for mga condominium units. Especially right now, there's a lot of condominium units, di ba? Being constructed. Imagine nyo kung paano nyo monitor yung bawat konsumo ng bawat owner ng condominium. Di ba? Imagine that. It is all centralized. Or yung iba, yung mga matipid, yung pinaakit nila yung yung Meralco, isa-isang binibilang yung mga metro. Isa-isa. Pero yung mga high-end types, they have a centralized energy monitoring system or power monitoring system integrated as well with the BMS. Okay? Even the domestic water, yung tubig. Tubig, no? Again, this is applicable for mga condominiums, townhouses, no? Na malalaki. For big developers like Ayala, Rockwell Land, okay? Robinson's Land, Camellia, yung mga Philippines yan. So, para mawala yung human intervention na magsusukat pa ng mga water meter, they provide sensors, okay, or water meter gauges, okay, integrated to the BMS. So, I have discussed earlier about AHU's BME systems, fans and controls. Okay? Yan. Life safety systems, control monitoring. Some even dare to integrate the security as mentioned earlier. Possible po talaga yan. Possible yan. But, some is parang medyo na lang, hindi na ganun ka-importante. Kasi in every operations, iba yung engineering sa security. Iba yung security department, iba yung engineering and maintenance department. Typically, the BMS is being handled by the engineering and maintenance. Okay? Security, ibang departamento talaga yan. There's a security. But, it doesn't restrict us from doing it. So, if you want integration. Bakit nangyayari yun? If you want integration, ako yung may-ari ng building, gusto ko makita pareho yun. I want it in my office in one PC or in one video wall. Nakikita ko si Ann Curtis dito sa condo unit na to. Nakikita ko yung ginagawa ng maintenance ko dito. Mga ganong idea. So, the only thing that we have to consider in every ICT, IT consideration is yung tinatawag na protocol naman, diba? That is always our technical argument. Before we do the integration thing, the interconnectivity thing, the interfacing thing, we always need to have this communication protocol. Agree? Diyan lagi lahat nagkakatalo eh. Even in ICT, there's types of protocols, TCP/IP, di ba? Ngayon nga, nasa, ano ba yun? IP na tayo? Sorry. IP6 na, di ba? Hindi ko pa rin nga namin. Kailan ba may seminar about IP na? Kailan ba yan? Very interested ako dyan. Okay? Pero basically, dahil daw nagpunta doon, ubus na nga naman yung IP addresses, di ba? Kaya nag-migrate na sa IPv6, no? Okay. So, that is the diagram. Every time that you would design, that is the diagram for a building management system. Yan. To give you an idea on how to prepare a plan and what are the compositions of a building management system design. Here it is. Okay. In the discussion of pending codes and standards, this is the norms. Yan ang third one. Wala pa talaga tayo documented codes and standards. This is the norm in the industry on preparing plans, in particular the BMS. Of course, you need to have a front page, including the site development, the general notes, Legends and symbols. Okay? Legends and symbols of what? Again, wala pa tayong standard niyan. Wala pa tayong ano.
Raymond, iba ka, lang pa yung evidence. Ilan pa may evidence?
Sa BFP po yun, ma'am. Sa BFP yun.
BFP ba yun?
BFP yun. It's about the fire alarm.
Yeah, fire alarm.
It's about the fire alarm. Okay? It's about the fire alarm. Iba po kasi yung
Iba pa yung BMS.
BMS eh. Okay, iba pa yung BMS. It wasn't tabled pa eh. Yung discussion na yan, even the whole committee, it wasn't tabled pa. Wala pa yan. Okay? So, site development, it's a standard. Sa plot preparation yan. Saan ba yung project nyo? Diba? May project. And then general notes. Pag sinabi natin general notes, yan yung what is, besides to sa mga nasa specifications, ano ba yung mga requirement ninyo? Okay? For the implementation of the BMS. Sorry, I know it's very interesting, but at this, ano nga, sa forum na to, we cannot detail that, okay? If given the chance to discuss fully about BMS, we will. Okay? Yan. Kung ang power or electrical design may tinatawag na load schedule, di ba? Load schedule. Kasi every time an electrical engineer submits plans, incorporated lagi yung tinatawag na load scheduling. Kasi yung bawat floor, no? Meron silang design dyan na approach na nilalagay nila into certain panel, no? Nandun yung mga breakers. Sa mga bahay nyo may panel. So, yun, that is incorporated in a design of electrical engineering known as the load schedules. Sa BMS, you need this as well. Yung tinatawag na BMS Points List Summary. Okay, Points List Summary, because doon makikita na in every equipment, ano ba yung gusto natin gawin every equipment? Ano ba yung gusto natin i-control? Ano ba yung gusto natin i-monitor? Yan. So, that will be enclosed in a certain panel. Okay? That will be enclosed in a certain panel as well. So, that is summarized in the BMS points list. Okay? Equipment control and monitoring diagrams. Of course, that in every design there should be diagrams. Okay? BMS schematics or single line diagram. Tulad po nito, you can see the detectors, right? But you cannot see how the entire configuration of the system is really made of. Correct? Nakikita nyo na lang yung dulo eh. Diba? So, by having the BMS schematics or single line diagram, we will be able to see na, ito pa rin buong BMS design ko. It monitors air conditioning A, it monitors air conditioning B, it monitors the lighting A, the lighting B, the pump A, the pump B. Okay? This is the anatomy of the system. Okay? So when we say schematics, that is the anatomy of the system. And of course, the floor plan layout. Saan ba natin pinaglalagay yung ating mga control panel? Diba? Saan ba natin pinaglalagay yung mga control panel? And then, the usual is, paano ba yung wiring niyan? Okay? Paano ba yung wiring niyan? Okay. So, that is reflected on the floor plan layout. It is all those things, no, that we mentioned here are very important in preparation of as a consultant. Okay? Kasi as a consultant, yung ginawa nating drawings that will be submitted for permit purpose, okay, for legality and documentation. And second, the most important thing is for the construction part, di ba? For the construction and installation part. So, as a contractor, how would I know kung ano yung intent ng consultant without these things, di ba? Without these things. Okay? Without these things. So, dapat alam ko kung ano yung intent mo. Alam ko kung ano yung mga co-control and monitor mo via points list summary. I know the specific details of the equipment control and monitoring diagrams. I know the overall anatomy of the system. And of course, the location of these things based on the floor plan layout. Okay? Miscellaneous details, kung meron tayong mga additional information that we would like to insert in a plan. So sabi ko dito, composition of BMS plans. Tanda natin, in every plan, as based on the IRR of the building code, revised IRR of the building code, plans and specifications are always needed and cost estimates. So kasama po yan for documentation. Dito lang sinabi ko lang yung plan preparation. Okay. So there is a separate discussion for preparing plans and specifications. Mas mabuti pag discussion po about BMS. Okay? So for the BMS, so that is the summary po. Okay? Is there any question? So input lang. I have some drawings here that I would like to share to you, no? Just for everybody's information.
Focus mo nga naman, Pe. Yun.
Okay, so can you check whether it's working? Is it working? Okay.
So for the implementation now, let's start with the electronic regulations in the LBCP, which is the PD 1096. That the PD 1096 states now that the National Building Code of the Philippines was signed on February 19, 1977, revising the Republic Act 6541. So when the RA 9292 was been released by the ECE, memorandums from the DILG now also released the implementation of the said PD that dapat ma-implement na rin yung mga electronics natin, yung electronics permit. For the RA 7916, this is now the RA for the creation of Philippine Economic Zone Authority. So this is now the creation of PEZA, which now develops the special economic zones throughout the country and the very competitive incentives available to investments inside PEZA special economic zones. So we have several economic zones now. We have 3 public zones, which is the PEZA head office, the Cavite, and the Baguio economic zone. And we also have some private economic zones. We have the FPIP. We have from Calabarzon regions as far as Mindanao, which we already have the Taganito mining company. For the Rule 7 now of the RA of the RA 7966, 16, permits and other requirements under our law was implemented already. So we have here in section 1 is the permitting. Okay, we have the permits that it says now that no building or structure, facility or utility and electromechanical equipment shall be constructed and installed and no improvement thereon within an eco-zone or any other area owned, administered, or operated by the PEZA shall be made without the prior written approval or permit issued by the PEZA. So in short now, you cannot just put up a building or make some renovations or alterations without the approval of PEZA. On section 2, It is now the submission of requirements. So these requirements now, as I've said earlier, these requirements are also based on the National Building Code. So yung mga requirements na ginagamit din po namin is galing din po sa National Building Code. Any eco-zone registered enterprise intending to construct its own building or other structures, facilities, and utilities within the eco-zone shall, before proceeding with the work, submit to PEZA all the documentary requirements as herein below enumerated within 45 days from date of registration. So yun po, hindi ka makakapag-proceed with any structures or any alterations without now submitting to us the requirements needed. For the collection of fees and charges, the PEZA shall collect fees and charges for services rendered in connection with the processing and issuance of permits required and performance of other regulatory functions in accordance with the rates fixed under the National Building Code. So yung mga collection of fees po namin, hindi po yan gawa-gawa din lang kung magkano yung kukunin namin sa inyo or kung magkano yung i-impose namin na fees. But these fees now are also written in the National Building Code, which shall be discussed by my partner afterwards. For Section 5, we also have the plant inspection. A completed plant, building, or structure, facility, utility, and new installed electromechanical equipment and machinery shall be inspected by PEZA to determine whether it has complied with approved building specifications and plant layout. So your application of permit does not end only on the permitting. So after the permit or the installation permit has been approved, verification of that approved permit will also be done. So hindi lang po porket nagbigay na kayo ng documents or requirements sa amin, doon na po magtatapos yon. Hindi po. There is now a verification of the approved permits because we are the ones approving it. So kung hindi nag-comply or nag-comply doon, it is on this plant inspection now. We also have the temporary permit to operate, which is now applicable to the temporary facilities, which shall be used by the contractors for the installation or for the building installation. For the occupational safety, the PEZA, in accordance with the Department of Labor and Employment, shall conduct periodic inspection of plants. So after now the verification of the approved permits, we also have a periodic inspection. Ito na ngayon yung renewal of permits ninyo. This one is the renewal of permits now would also take now the checking of the maintenance of what you have applied with PEZA. Kung ano yung mga in-apply ninyo, yung ano yung in-approve na permit, so dapat meron din kayong maintenance nun. Chine-check din po yan periodically. What are the different types of permits that we have? So for PEZA, we have now the installation permit, that is now the electronics installation permit, electronics permit to operate, and the electronics permit to operate renewal. So yan din po yung steps or yan din po yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng application ng permit natin. So we are just taking up now for the electronics na magko-concentrate lang po tayo sa electronics. Kasi aside from the electronics permit, we also have the civil architectural permits, we also have electrical permits, mechanical, structural, meron pang mga demolition permit, and so on and so forth. So yun po are components of all the permits that we are approving at PEZA. But since we are in the ECE, sa electronics lang po ako magko-concentrate. But there are instances now that the electronics permit must not be separated from any other permits na dapat kasama nila. Okay? For the requirements for the installation permit, first one is the application forms of electronics permit. So, Medyo malabo kasi hindi na isama doon. Ito yung meron tayong electronics permit which is also approved by the National Building Code. Meron din po yan sa, meron din pong form na ipinakita sa National Building Code. Pero ito po, may mga iba po kaming binago lang yung format, pero yung content po, parehas lang po. We have now dun sa first page,
First box.
dito po sa box na to, nandyan po yung dito po sa box na to, dyan po pipirma yung PECE at saka yung ECE. Ito po kasi is on for the company or locator side na. On this part po, dapat po yung PECE or yung ECE or yung project in charge po ang mag-a-identify for the different scope of works na gagawin nila. So kung ano lang po yung i-check dito, yun lang din po yung i-check ko based doon sa plano. For this box now,
Box 5.
for the box 5, that is the design, supervision and design part. Dito po pipirma yung PECE. Take note po, hindi po pwedeng pumirma dito yung ECE. Dito po sa project in charge, pwedeng ECE, pwedeng PECE. Sa pagkakalam ko po, na-explain din po ni Engineer Medina dito, yung supervision at saka yung designer's side, kung sino talaga ang pipirma or sinong authority na pumirma ng designing at saka ng supervisor. Okay? So for the other boxes now, that is for the locator and the approving authority, which is the building official. Okay? So yun po yung first na requirement namin, a fully accomplished electronics permit form. So dapat po yun is very detailed po yung nilalagay doon dahil yan po ay may kapartner na mga documents. Your permit form must go with the plans that you will be submitting. If you have checked all the scope of works, dapat may kalapit po yun na plano. Pag wala po, i-cross out po namin yun. Or, itinatanong po namin or vine-verify po namin kung ano talaga yung scope of work niya. So, meron po tayong check and balance with the documents at saka nung scope of work ninyo. Second one is data sheet, 3 copies signed and sealed by a professional electronics engineer. This data sheet now established by our department only. Bakit? Para saan naman itong data sheet na to? This data sheet now will comprises all the devices that is that will be installed. Yan din po ay nakikita sa plano. So kung ano po yung data ninyo dito sa data sheet na to, yun din po dapat ang makikita sa plano. The third one is the 3 set of proposed plans signed and sealed by the required professional and the owner. So, dito na po pumapasok yung design ninyo. So, na-explain din po kanina kung ano yung mga kailangan nasa plano. Yung mga single line diagrams, schematic diagrams, layout plan. Lahat din po yun, chine-check din po sa amin. Kami na rin po ang nag-check or nag-evaluate ng plano na yun. If there would be a discrepancy or meron kulang, pinapasubmit din po namin yun. For the next is 3 copies of structural computation, design, calculation, analysis for electronics work signed and sealed by professional electronics engineer. Actually, structural computation, isama lang, that is for the civil works. But for some design calculations now and analysis, these are only for applicable designs. So take note now that the plans and other documents must be signed and sealed by the professional electronics engineer, yung designer, at saka ng owner. Which means to say now that your document, that your design, that your plan has been accepted by the locator or by the owner. So yun po yung ano ninyo. Hindi lang din po naman guarded na dahil nag-design ka, dahil design mo yon is hindi napipirmahan ng owner. But that must be acknowledged by the owner. Dahil po, sa amin po actually, it's not the designer who is applying, but it is the locator who is applying. Next one is 3 sets of detailed cost and material estimates for electronics works, signed and sealed by a professional electronics engineer. So, dapat kasama pa rin po doon sa documents natin yung mga detailed cost. Yun po yung sinasabi ni Engineer Medina kanina, na hindi lang po plano yung kinakailangang pirmahan. Pati rin po yung mga cost estimates ninyo, yung material estimates, yung detailed cost, kasama din po. Tapos, we also have the photocopy of the PEZA registration or supplement agreement letter of authority. Bakit po kailangan namin to? Because we are only authorized to accept application, inspect the facilities on the locators that are registered on PEZA. So if they are not registered in our PEZA, we do not have the authority to enter their facilities. So, take note po kasi nag-aanhan po kasi ang LGU at saka PEZA with that. Hindi po kami mag-i-inspect if they are registered on LGUs. So, all the companies under the local governments, hindi na po yun sakop ng PEZA. So, these permits now are only for PEZA registered locators. So we have the photocopy of the ECC, LDA clearances, photocopy of signing professional valid PRC and PTR, which is very important for that matter kasi doon po namin bine-verify kung lisensyado po talaga yung pumirma ng plano. Take note po, doon sa taas, lahat po ang nakasaad doon ay Professional Electronics Engineer or ECE for that matter for the construction in charge. Kailangan namin yung PRC and PTR ninyo kasi alam po naman natin ngayon, mas malaki pa talaga ang Recto University kaysa sa mga talagang legal na mga eskwelahan. Take note po, mas malaki po ang Recto University kaysa sa PRC po talaga. Okay po? So, dyan lang din po namin na-verify kung tama, kung talagang lisensyado ang isang electronics engineer. Ang ginagawa po namin dyan, it does not end there. Na nagpasa kayo ng ID, ng photocopy ng ID ninyo, at tatanggapin lang namin. Hindi lang po nagtatapos dun yun. We also verify that at the PRC mismo. Sa PRC website, we can verify your name kung talagang professional electronics engineer ka, kung lisensyado ka o hindi. So, for those who are intending now na magpalit ng profession, instead na electrical sila, sinasabi nila na professional electronics engineer, na-check din po namin yun. And definitely, hindi po namin tinatanggap yung application na gano'n. And actually, pinireport po namin kaagad yan sa PRC through our building official. That has been reported yung mga ganong cases. Hindi lang po nangyayari sa amin yan minsan. Talagang kalimitan, maraming beses na po kami nakakahuli na doon. Even the different names na may gumagaya ng mga pirma, may gumagamit ng pangalan, pati picture, parehong-pareho. Pero pag titignan yung pirma ng previous application niya, magkaiba na. Kasi iilan lang po, actually po, iilan lang po, mangilan-ilan lang po talaga yung mga professional electronics engineer na pumipirma ng PEZA. Though, kung humihingi po sila sa amin, kung sino yung pwede namin i-recommend na PECE, we direct it to IECEP office. Kasi bawal din po kami mag-recommend ng kakilala namin or sarili namin ano. Kasi kung ako lang tatanungin, kung may kakilala akong PECE, ako na lang pipirma. Diba? Ganun lang yan. But just to be fair with all the PECEs, na kaya namang pumirma, kaya namang i-handle yung responsibility as a designer, as a supervisor, dinedirekta po namin sa IECEP. So, pagka siguro ilang beses na po, marami na po sigurong tumatawag at saka nagtatanong ng mga PECs na pwede pumirma sa IECEP. Okay? And then, the next one is the photocopy of the contractors and subcontractors PCAB license. Isa din po ito kasi your PCAB license now would defend you on the legality of your contract to do the work. But for some specialized works kasi kung minsan FDAS yung FDAS lang ikakabit, CCTV lang. Ang hinihingi ko na nga po, kasi wala pa po yata specialized for CCTVs only sa mga PCAB po, di ba? Wala rin pong naka-specialize na FDAS lang po.
Sa PCAB kasi lang sa special construction. Ang meron lang related sa electronics is navigational facilities and communication facilities.
Yes.
So, kami sa construction, ginagamit namin.
Opo.
So, ina-acknowledge naman nila.
Yes,
Basta
sir.
nag-STE mo is ECE or PECE.
Pero yung mga, ganun nga, yung mga iba pong systems, like for paging systems, ang hinihingi po namin talaga in the replacement of the PCAB license if the contractor or the subcontractor, kunwari, yun lang yung work nila, ang hinihingi po is yung business permit ng installer at saka ng ano, tapos yung sec registration nila. Yun po, in-replace for the PCAB license. But for bigger projects, like dun sa mga hotels, yung Soler, yung City of Dreams, hindi na po applicable yun. Kasi masyado na pong malaking project, kumbaga yung hinahawakan.
Engineer Laura, putulin mo na kita. For the benefit of those who are at the back, pwedeng paulit lang yung binanggit mo kanina na ginagamit niyo for the CCTV dyan.
So far kasi sa PCAB classification, may tatlong classification. General Engineering, General Building, and Specialty Construction. Sa Specialty Construction, kasi I tried to make the research, may dalawang category lang na pwede tayong pumasok. Yung navigational facilities and communication facilities. The rest, hawak na ng electrical, mechanical. So, kaya nga sabi ko, kung gustong nating ipasok yung BMS as one specialty category, pwede yun. So, yun lang ang existing. So, pwede natin gamitin yun kasi naandun na yun, in place na yun. Kesa maghanap pa tayo ng wala. Yung pumapasok naman ay na-accept ng PEZA na small projects, actually yun eh. Yung minor projects kasi, manual works, exempted yan sa PCAB.
Okay, may PCAB po mamaya, so i-expound na ng engineer kapasan mamaya yung iba. Thank you.
And the last requirement
from PEZA. So wala, lahat ng binabayaran from PEZA is naka-account po lahat yan. So meron kayong receiving copy, meron kayong receipt para makita to. So talaga, no corruption, no red tape po talaga. So lahat transparent, so contractor, yung company, makikita po nila yung binabayaran po nila. So next, meron na po ba tayo? Wala po tayong tanong sa fees and charges. Madali lang naman po. Yes, ma'am.
Parts talaga yun. Yun dun sa PMS, paano yung
Yes, ma'am.
sinusukat yun? Per point o per packet? Per point talaga.
Yes po, sir.
Tama yung points.
Yung lumabas po dun sa module, mismo, sir. Then mula sa controller po nila, sir, papunta sa mga sensors kasama po ito. Iba po po yung devices. Iba po yung port, yung outlet, iba po yung devices na pag-assess. So bale, dalawa agad yung, kunwari, sa ports, meron kang data port, syempre may ilalagay kang workstations. So, yung port pati yung device, magkaibang bayad niya. So, 2.4, 2.4 ba yun?
Workstation, may mga port pa rin yan.
Yes, sir.
Lalabas yun.
Pero yun, sir, hindi na namin ano. Kasi mula lang dun sa galing sa patch panels, lumabas na sa data outlet. Okay, sir. So, may question pa po? Other question? Okay. So, non-compliance during inspection. So, ito, during inspection, ito na yung mga common, mga basic na nakikita namin during inspection. So, we have here incomplete documents and requirements submitted. So, pag occupancy, chine-check namin lahat ng documents na sinasubmit sa office. But sometimes, dahil nga sa pagkakaiba-iba, pagdating namin sa actual inspection, hihinga namin ng, for example, sa FDAS, hihinga namin ng fire test results. If safe ba talaga yung FDAS, kung good working condition ba yung FDAS. So during inspection, chine-check rin namin yung FDAS kung yung green lang yung nakailaw, kung on lang, walang fault or walang ano. So incomplete documents and requirements submitted. So number 2, as-built plans are not based on actual installations. Ito nga yung sinasabi ni Ma'am Laura, ni Engineer Laura, na during actual inspection, sigurado may pagkakaiba sa as-built. Although, siguro hindi naman lahat, meron pa rin. Kunwari, 10 lang nakalagay na smoke detector sa plano, naging 11. Meron pa rin pagbabago. So, yung mga ganong instances na paisa-isa lang, we noted na, sige, next time, ganyan. Hindi naman po kami ganong kahigpit para pabaguhin pa yung buong plano, isa lang naman yung ano. And also, we have exemptions sa installation permit. So 10 devices below, we do not require the contractor, the company, to secure installation permit. But if there will be another additional equipments or devices, isasama nyo ngayon yung devices na hindi nyo in-installation permit, na kinuha na ng installation permit. So, ika-consolidate mo lang lahat. So, ganun pa rin, na nabawasan na yung burden mo na mag-secure ka ng permit para sa 8 piraso, 8 pirasong port, 3 pirasong smoke detector. So, ganun po, sir. So, electronics installations are not yet completed. So, there are times na pupunta kami doon sa site, pero yung installation nila hindi pa tapos, hindi pa completed. For example, door access. Nandito sa plan namin, as built, may door access na kayo dito, nasa yung door contact, nasa yung card reader nyo, wala pa. So, open pa. Yung FDAS nyo, yung control panel, hindi pa nakakabit. CCTV, wala pa yung monitor, wala pa yung NVR nyo, wala pa yung DVR nyo. Ganun po. So, electronics installations are not yet completed. So, later, meron tayong mga pictures para yung mga inspection na bigyan namin ng ganyang compliance and non-compliance. So, electronics installations not yet completed, sometimes we do re-inspect. Kasi wala po kaming, may basis nga kami sa plano, pero wala kami actual installation. Paano namin mako-confirm na i-install nyo nga yun? So, we do make re-inspections. So, we do re-inspections. So, magre-request ngayon yung company or yung contractor for re-inspection, re-schedule of re-inspection after complying. Kunwari, sabihin namin, mag-submit kayo ng photos na na-install nyo na yan. Or, sumulat kayo ng letter na during this day, nung date na mako-comply namin, may time frame, meron kaming yung compliance, action plan, yan, action plan. So, non-conformity to safety requirements. So, sabi nga ni Ma'am Laura, yun nga sa mga renewal, sa occupancy, pwede rin, katulad niya, mga ganyan, nakatape lang yung mga kable, di ba? So, chine-check rin po namin yung safety requirements ng company or paano nag-install yung contractor. Okay ba yung pag-patch niya ng mga ano sa server room, lahat po. Okay, so we have samples here. For example, ito. Ano yan? So, IDF room. sabi nila tapos na, as-built plan na. When we came, ayan, wala pang devices na naka-install, nagpapash pala yung technician doon. So, picture, non-compliant. Re-inspection. Kasi kailangan namin makita na nakakabit na yan, naka-terminate na yan. Pwede, kung isang crack lang naman, submit photos. Para hindi na kami bumalik dahil sa dami ng schedule namin. Wala pa po naman. Kaka-deliver pa lang po ata. So, ito, re-inspection. Kasi wala po talaga. So, as-built niya, mangyayari, ang gawin niya, palitan niya yung as-built plan niya, tanggalin niya yung data center niya para hindi na mag-re-inspect. But, syempre, kailangan po, kung ano yung sa as-built plan, dapat mag-comply po yung company or yung contractor. So, next, ayan, mga outlets na, electrical ata to, door access. Then here, sabi ng IT, sir, temporary lang po yung mga yan kasi may training kami para sa training room. Sir, may inspection po kayo ngayon. Bakit kayo naglagay ng temporary ng mga kable? Anyway, sir, submit photo na maayos na yan. Okay. Ilang araw kayo magko-comply? We give you 7 days, 7 working days to comply. Okay. Pero ito, mga madadaling minor lang naman. But, ito, ginawa na nilang storage yung ano nila. Yung server room nila. So, non-compliance. Ito, wala pang laman. Puro kable lang. So, next. Ito ang maganda. Ito po ang kanilang server room. Pero makikita, ano ba nakikita nyo, sir? Ito nakikita mo, hindi yun. No? Kasi ginawa na nilang storage room. So yan po, safety and also nakaka-affect rin yan dito, di ba? Server room natin. So it should be removed. So, compliance, submit photos. Remove this, then picturean yung server room nyo na okay na. So, compliant na. So, hindi naman po kami ganun ka-higpit talaga, but we let them comply kasi nga, we PEZA, we encourage investors, we encourage the company na mag-secure sila ng permit para lahat legal. So, yun po. So, it's the end of our presentation. Thank you.
Marami akong question. Regarding to sa presentation po, sa penalty.
Yes po, sir.
Sino ba yung nape-penalize doon? Yung establishment or yung designing PECE?
Actually po, ang naka-apply po kasi sa amin is the locator. Now, kung ano po yung internal agreement nila, who would pay the penalty? Kung yung locator ba o yung contractor, or if later on, isasama mo na ng contractor at babayaran lahat ng locator, nasa sa kanila po yun. But definitely po, ang nakapangalan po sa amin is yung locator. So parang yung front po sa amin, or yung maharap sa amin, is the locator.
Sabi niyo marami.
Doon po sa, sa supervision, yung pinipirma ng designer tsaka sa... What if, for example ako, kung meron ako doon sa supervision, tapos, since...
ano ba kayo? ECE, PECE?
PECE.
Okay.
So, pinapirma din ako doon sa designer and then sa supervision. Pero, during the installation, nung in-implement na yung project, hindi ako in-inform ng owner. Tapos, biglang nagkaroon ng revision. Kanino ba yun? Ako ba or...
Sino po ba nakapirma? Di po ba? Kung sino po yung nakapirma, yun po yung responsibility ninyo. Pinirmahan mo, team nyo yun eh. Kung ayaw nyo po, di...
Hindi, during parang permitting stage pa lang.
Oho.
Pero dun sa... Nung i-implement
actual na. Hindi
baga,
kayo,
hindi, for example, may na-revise sila doon sa design ko. Hindi yun yung as hindi ako na-inform. For example, worst case po, for example, hindi na nila ako makontak. Diba?
Doon po pumapasok yung, kasi makikita po yan during inspection. Kaya po kami may verification sa as-built. Kaya po kami may verification na ganun is para maiwasan po yung mga hindi informed na installation, which is ang nakapirma is kayo po. Ngayon po, hindi na po kayo makontak. Ang mangyayari po niyan, since hindi kayo yung kausap na namin, yung locator ngayon ang ipapa-comply namin ngayon kung ano yung kulang doon sa plano. At maghahanap sila, it's either kayo ang pupuntakin nila or maghahanap sila ng iba na magte-take ng responsibility na dapat sa ito. Yun po yung affidavit na sinasabi po namin na tinitake ng responsibility nung bagong PECE kung ano man yung mga pagbabagong ginawa. Kung hindi na po makontak o hindi na mahanapan yung dati.
It's a proposal. For example, as a designer, ginawa ko ganito karami, pero hindi kinaya ng budget ng client ko. Ang tendency nun kumonte. So, paano po yun during the inspection? Kunyari, instead na 10, di mo na nakita nila. Paano po?
During installation, di po ba nakapasok pa ng plano? For example po, na-assess po namin completely based on the plans. Kung ganun po na nagkaroon ng budget constraint, tapos yung pinirmahan ninyong as-built plan, ay nandoon pa rin yung devices na yun. Dapat, i-ano nila yun, i-install nila as per plan. Ngayon, dahil sa hindi nila nag-install yun dahil kulang, ipapa-revise yung plan. Kung ano lang po, yung na-install, yung kinaya lang. But, yung kulang na yun, hindi na po yung bibigyan ng permit to operate. Hindi na po siya kasama sa fees ninyo. May statement of account pa rin po na ibibigay doon. Na ibig sabihin, yung dating 50 pieces ay naging 25 lang half. Yung sa installation permit ninyo is 50 pieces. Yung sa permit to operate fees ninyo, 25 na lang. If in the future plan, idadagdag nyo na, kakayanin na yung 25, i-update ninyo ngayon yung as-built plan ninyo na meron na yung 25, tapos saka namin idadagdag ulit yun sa fees ninyo.
So, panibagong permit na naman po yun. Panibagong pirma ulit yung PECE.
Oo.
Magandang business ka.
Ganun business yan.
Ano ko lang dadagdag ko lang kasi usually what they do is, inaabang na, di ba? In anticipation of future expansion, nag-aabang na, di ba? So you are charging those abangs, tama? Hindi po. For example, yung mga ports, di ba? Abang na yun
Yung nasa as-built po
Yung nasa as-built naman.
Yes, as-built na. Okay. Sige. Yes.
Pwede sagutin ko yung...
May sagot mo na.
May
Sige.
idadagdag lang ako.
Sure.
Yung sa signing of design and supervision. Kasi yung sa kanya yung design. In construction kasi yung concept na ito si consultant, iba si builder, iba si client. Sa tatlo yun. If they ask you to sign the supervision side, make sure ikaw rin magsusupervise sa side.
Okay.
Kasi pagka hindi, walang meaning. That's just paper compliance. Diba? Kasi dyan nag-aaway si supervisor at si designer. Bakit hindi mo na-install nasa design? Nakuha niyo yan?
Pero kung minsan
Kaya pag hindi mo ako kinuha na supervisor, hindi ako pupunta sa site. I will not sign that. You find another supervisor. Ngayon kung ako, ilang days ba ang completion niya? 30 days? Ito ang rate ko, every day 30 days. Ito ang rate ko. Kung mag-supervise yan, ito akin yan. And I have to supervise that. Siguro not every day, but mag-audit ka for a certain period. Kailangan, once you sign something, you claim the responsibility, yung liability na sa atin.
Pero hindi ba ano yun? Parang chicken and egg. Kasi di ba designer, okay lang, na-design mo na. Supervision, supposedly, pag nagano ka ng permit, supervision, you are now certifying that you supervise, right? But you are going to apply for the application for the permit first before, tama ba? They have to submit first the application form certifying that I have supervised. But since it has not
Pero dun sa design na yun, it's more of, what do you call this, nag-assist ka lang, hindi ikaw mismo. Pag pinag-design kita, hindi mo ako masagot, ibagsak kita. Diba? Yun, yung significant. Kaya nga, more of ang term ko is 2 years supervisory or specialized ka dun sa particular discipline mo. Yung pinaka-forte mo talaga. Kasi parang yung sinasabi ko nga may binabasa ko before ipapasa ko i-okay ko ba to or not. Kasi parang lumabas master of all siya. Diba? Pinatawag ko, sabi ko, piliin mo na lang kasi ako I'm representing only parang part ng PRC. Padaliin ko yung buhay mo. Piliin mo anong gusto mo dito. I-modify mo yung sinabit mo sa amin. Kasi pag in-highlight ko dito na ito yung isasabihin sa'yo, ito ang itatapat sa'yo. Baka hindi mo masagot. Babagsak ka. Diba? Sayang kasi ang hirap humanap ng documents. Mahirap mag-ayos ng documents. That's why, habang inaartihan nyo or niyayabangan nyo yung qualification nyo, mas mahihirapan kayo. Tama ako, sir?
Yes.
Diba? Padaliin nyo yung buhay nyo. Kasi naman ilabas nyo lahat ng ginawa nyo, tapos wala pala kayong master, wala kayong specialized either of the 5 na sinabit nyo. Sayang lang, sayang lang. Kasi same qualification ang gagamitin nyo for ASEAN application. That's why pinapamodify ko na, pinadadali ko yung buhay, dahil pag umokay sa amin, i-usin mo na, i-pattern mo na ito sa format ng ASEAN kasi paglabas ng PECE mo, ipapasok natin yung ASEAN mo. Di ba mabait ako?
Yes.
Hindi. Totoo yun. Kasi kakaunti ang ASEAN. Kakaunti ang ASEAN. Ang dami ng civil, ang dami ng agri... Ano ba yun? Pahayupan. Agriculture. Totoo. Natawa kami kasi nung umatan kami sa Myanmar, nung ASEAN conferment, ang daming kahayupan doon. Sa electronics, kakaunti. Yun sa Philippines, sabi ko nga, padamihin ko yung lahi ng electronics. That's why, pag ako ang nag-evaluate, pinapamodify ko para at least hindi kita pinahirapan. Sinasabi ko doon sa yung natatapatan ko, ayusin mo na kasi ito rin, same documents mo ang isasabit mo sa ASEAN. Ganun ang ginagawa ko para madali ang buhay nyo. Hindi ako mahigpit, di ba? Madali lang. Kaya lang, yung point kasi ng PRC, wag naman namin, it's more of the requirements. Totoo yun. Kaya lang, pag inukiyan kasi ng evaluator, more or less, or okay na. Kaya lang kung paano mo lang sasagutin yung tanong nila. Ganun lang yun Any question?
Question. Balikan na natin for their sake kasi I'm putting on the screen what you're saying. But
Okay.
I did not capture the first one kasi walang laptop kanina. So, we know the
That's yung second one is the telecom.
telecom.
Ayan, 4 lang naman pa ang lalabas Yung 9
These
kasi,
are the 4 that are already
ito yung approve na to. Yung 4.
Okay.
Yan yung approve na na.
So, approve.
Sa level of the
Sa PRC, actually. Sa PRC tapos na yan, it's just, kinol yung attention nila, they have to post it sa official gazette.
Okay.
Na ang cost is around 600,000 para daw i-publish. So, naghahanap pa sila ng sponsor or kung saan nila kukunin yung yung amount.
Okay. What are the other 5? What are the other 5?
May help?
Hindi po finalize.
Oo.
It's okay. If you're just putting it on the screen so that everybody will
Biomed,
know what are the
it's more
expected.
Biomed.
And then yung Wi-Fi, tapos yung macro, and then yung
What is macro?
sa green building.
Mm-mm.
Hindi po kasi yung finalize yung only yung 9.
We'll give you yung
You mentioned 9 You mentioned
Oo, 9 yun 9 siya.
CCTV.
Security, Security, yun yung ika-fifth Security and Management System. BMS, Building Management System. Oo nga, yung ginagawa ko, nakalimutan ko. Sorry, makakalimutin po ako.
building ordinance?
Building management.
The building automation slash build BMS yun eh. Bus and BMS yun eh.
Kasama ba security dito?
Hindi, iba. Hiwalay. Hiwalay.
Separate?
CCTV security.
Iba yun ang CCTV.
Surveillance. Inano na namin siya eh. Inuha namin yan eh. Masyadong...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lang po.
Ano yung taga sa Cebu? Oo.
Ano yung macro?
Macro sites, yung sa outdoor na cell sites.
Ah, yung mga maliliit.
No, yung mga malalaking cell sites.
Oo nga, macro, no? Ano yung micro yun?
Sige sir.
Ano yung pagpapasa ng requirements para sa ASEAN hanggang ano pong date sa October?
Actually, September kasi, kailan yung sa pena natin? November, di ba? Ganito kasi yan eh. 2 months before the conferment, binibigyan, say, halimbawa, mag-January muna tayo. Ang conferment for 2 beses every year yan eh. It's May and November. So, bago siya mag-May, dapat pumasok na sa amin ng application ng before March. Kasi pagdating na ng March, isasubmit na namin siya sa PTC. PTC kasi ang ASEAN na. We're talking of ASEAN na. PTC, siya mag-evaluate, yung final evaluation plus yun yung schedule nyo. Then they will give you yung, kasi bago the May, meron na kagad silang conferment number pag na-approve kayo sa PTC. KRRA. Actually, si Sir Agatep ang country registrar natin eh. So, yun, ganun. Pagdating naman ng May, ng November, September kasi ang cut-off namin eh. Pero baka, wala kasi si RRA actually, yan po yung kaninang mate. Ano ang pinaka-deadline na namin? Baka pwede i-move ng October. Kaya lang ganito ang nangyari. Sige, ganito. Yung sa akin, ano eh.
November na lang?
October. Actually, yung sa akin, special case. Matagal na siyang pumasok. Mas tagal na siyang pumasok sa kanila. So happen, nagkaroon ng problema dun sa dates. So pinabalik sa akin, hindi nakita nila RA. May mga dates akong mali, yung lawyer yata. Kasi may notary yan eh. Nagkamali ng notary, yung taga-UP. So pinabalik. So ang nangyari sa akin, may number na sila Mambe, Naginding, sila Oliver. Yung sa akin, wala. So kinabahan ako. Pero sige, kahit na bagsak ako, a-attend ako. Sila Gerard may number, ako wala. Kasi late pumasok yung sa akin sa head office sa Indonesia. So, yung number ko doon na binigay sa conferment.
Saan na yan?
Ngayon sa Penang, Malaysia.
Pwede ba kami...
Pwede pa. Basta tapusin nyo siguro ng September, bago end ng September.
September 30.
Oo, September 30.
Mamilang, ano po, kasi nalilito kami sa CPE points na ano eh, na...
Ay, sa CPE ng ASEAN is 150.
Wala nang bawas yun.
Oo, 150. Kaya nga, ganito ha. Ganito, bigyan ko kayo ng tip. That's why yung mga friends ko, yung iba na nandito, pinagtotok ko. Why? 8 times 5 pagka speaker ka. So it's 40 agad, di ba? Sabi ko sa kanila, mag-talk ka na mag-talk. Kahit na libre. Kasi meron naman kasing magagaling na hindi na kilala pa eh. So sabi ko, yun, magbigay ka ng free service, mag-talk ka, yung mga kilala ko sa BMS, para lang makuha mo yung 150 points. Sa ASEAN kasi 150 ang requirement ha. 3 talk lang yan plus AGM. 3 years naman yun ha, 3 years.
Consolidated.
Oo, consolidated. Ano siya for 3 years.
Maging PECE po.
Kasi kung halimbawa may 45 ka na, pwede yun. Gamitin nyo yun. Basta within 3 years. Kung mag-apply ka today, 2015, yung 2012 mo till 2015, basta 150 points.
Walang tawad.
Oo. Walang tawad eh.
How much yung cost ito?
2.5. Ang application,
1,500 lang babayaran?
oo, application for ASEAN, 2.5.
Sa PTC mo.
Ay, hindi.
250 na lang.
Hindi, lala. Sorry. Ang 2.5 pala, 1, 2 sa PE, 900 sa PECE, 250 ba?
200 po.
200
Lifetime po.
Asayan ka na ba?
Hindi po. Application.
Hindi, iba pa ang application, iba ang membership ha.
Opo.
Iba pa membership.
Oo. Pag nag-confer ka na,
200.
basta ang total na binayaran sa akin ni Sir Vitalia is 11,200. Application plus membership. Kasi automatic yon. Pag may number ka na, membership na ang babayaran mo.
Okay.
Parang 11 something eh. Lahat-lahat na yun.
Plus 50, $250.
Oo, $250. Yun ang alam ko nga eh. 2,500 na. $250. Dollars pala siya. Basta ganun, more or less nasa 12,000. 11,750 yata. Parang ganun. Pero sayang ha. Nagamit ko siya ha. Expat ako dito. Expat ako sa trail.
Go for robotics. Hindi ako marunong mag-program ng robot. So yun ang weakness ko. I also am not into programming. I'm on hardware engineering. So mga ganun na bagay. So how about you? What is your specialization? Diba? Hindi mo pwede na mag-a-approve ka ng FDAS, tapos mag-a-approve ka rin ng telco, tapos mag-a-approve ka rin ng design na pang building management system. Social. PhD ka ba ng tatlong bagay na yan, di ba? A simple question. So, alignment, it needs alignment. Now, at this point in time, before I move to the next topic, may I request for your inputs, comment, suggestion on this first topic?
Mauna ako ha. Kasi mayroon ako napansin, can you show up here and again? Yung nauna. Yan, yung prior to this. Sige pa. ECE laws. So, kabisado ko yung batas. There was no mention of residential in any part of R9292 or even in other BECE circulars. It mentioned there, industrial, commercial only. Because what I understand is, pag residential kasi, freedom ng may-ari ng bahay. Kung gusto niya kumuha ng expert, kasi pwede naman DIY yan eh. Diba? Do it yourself. So I think,
I think it's more of, I think the message there basically states that it's more of a mixed commercial residential because there are some buildings nowadays na sa ground floor, merong commercial, and then, second floor.
Kasi condominium kasi commercial ang ano niya, hindi siya residential. Condominium units are considered as commercial establishments. Ang tinutukoy ko kasi residential is yung mga bahay-bahay. So, we have to be careful with the terminology because, legally speaking, hindi pwedeng pasukan ng ano yan.
The terminology. Kasi yung residential na sinasabi natin, service entrance, most probably, yun yung mga townhouse na multiple.
Pinaka-demarcation line dun, it is intended, yung purpose is intended for profit.
Yeah.
Pagka personal use yung residential. Pero kung residential na for rent, commercial use.
Siguro, I agree na i-reward natin yan. I-reward.
Take it out kasi yun.
Okay,
Tapos
sure.
another question, kasi itong mga fees na to, you didn't mention about, for example, gano'n siya kalaki. For instance, minimum of what? Is it on a per square or on a per square basis ba to or per...
It's on the vertical, ito ang discussion dito, ma'am. So basically, it's more of one cell site, one location.
Pero yung sa iba kasi, for example, yung local exchange, ano na yan? How many pages are we talking about? Diba? Pati yung sa iba, yung go together. So for example, yung Wi-Fi na yan, gano'ng kalaki yan? Diba? How many computers ang pinag-uusapan natin? For example, kasi baka mamaya Wi-Fi pala ng buong building, sasabihin niya, kayo mismo nagsabi 3,000 lang, oh. Plus you're going to charge, di ba? Ilang ano yun? Ilang outlet, yung gano'n. So I think dapat na yun.
Item 2 would be on the per square meter or per port.
I do not know. Just some ano. Are there other questions? Kayo, sir? Yes. Can you use the mic?
Ito po sa per page po to.
Yeah, original page ito.
So what if, paano pa yung kunyari, yung isang client or company, may design na sila, tapos papipirma na lang sa inyo?
You're supposed to scrutinize it.
Yes, correct. It goes back to zero. Kasi kailangan mong i-review siya, di ba? Same rate, correct. Oo. Kasi ikaw na ang haharap dun eh. Pangalan mo na yung nakakuan dun eh. Yes. Accountability mo na yun.
So I can be charged.
Yes.
O, kasi kung minsan, ang nag-design, hindi ECE.
Yeah, opo. It's the same storyline on, di ba mapapansin mo sa mga development ngayon, they have foreign consultant. So, hindi naman sila pwedeng pumirma yung foreign consultant. So, at the end of the day, ibabalik sa'yo, being the professional engineer, i-review mo yun. Yung equivalent na design nila na idadalhin sa Pilipinas, for example, ganito na lang, may bagong casino. It requires a lot of electronic devices, distributed system, CCTV, and all that. Pagdating sa Pilipinas, yung foreign consultant ang magde-design. Ngayon, sabihin natin Japanese or French or yan. And then, hindi naman sila pwedeng pumirma tapos bibigay sa building para makakuha ng building permit sa OBO, di ba? Kailangan, or sa PEZA, kailangan pa rin ng Filipino counterpart. And that's another discussion later in my last agenda, yung foreign engineer practice. Kasi it becomes now a dilemma for the foreign/Filipino counterpart. Paano ang engagement ng PRC doon sa pag-practice nila ng profession dito sa Pilipinas? Tayo na Pilipino, hirap na hirap tayo mapag-accredit sa ibang bansa. Pero pagdating sa Pilipinas, ay bakit ganun lang? Tapos, di ba? Parang ang bilis-bilis. Ito gagawin mo. Di ba? Wala na tayong power and authority rin being a Filipino engineer. Okay, I will take a note of the question, pero may mga reconsiderations din yung ibang doon sa tinanong mo kanina na question. Because paano pag Filipino engineer din ang gagawa and at the same time, ikaw ang mag-acknowledge. So anong magiging rules of engagement mo doon? Yes.
Sir, question lang din sa item 32, sa outside. Yung methodology ng pagkagawa ng design, hindi ba yung mag-vary either aerial, underground, HDB, like that? Yung design na. Kasi yung sinasabi niyo ng Grace, paano pa nagka-problema? Yung barriers ng difficulty ng pagkaka-design.
Yes. Actually, I'm also asking kung, I'm very sure yung specialization mo is outside plan. Tama, di ba? An input on, ano yung distinguishing factor between aerial ang fiber, and then what will be the constraint and how will you charge it as versus the kapag underground siya. Of course, marami ring consideration yan. So, magva-vary ba ang professional fee or charge depending on whether it's aerial or underground, and also anong type ng environment. Meaning to say, if the outside plan is designed on a CBD, on a rural, on a suburban, on an urban environment, anong pagkakaiba ng level or degree of difficulty ng design doon? So that will be for part of sub 32A, B, C, and D.
Okay. Sir, kayo ba is outside plan?
I'm not outside plan.
Okay. Can you send an email to them giving your own thoughts
Your
on this?
insights
Kasi malaga yan. Kasi kung expert kayo doon at sa tingin nyo, mas mahal dapat yung underground, then you tell them. Kasi they cannot be the master of all naman eh. Di ba? Ito na sabi ni Gerald. Meron pa pong questions? Yung iba yata nandito lang for the points. Sige, sir.
Pero, number 7 and comparing number 7 and the pair of 29 and 30. Merong sa 29 and 30 na pair, merong per page sa number 7 wala.
Okay, sorry. Sa number is 7, sir?
Number 7 po.
Telecom system and
telecommunication system. Like,
Yung FMAM mo, 6,000 din.
wala sa per page, pero yung isa sa
per page, oo nga naman.
Per page.
6,000 yan.
Okay, so, dito kasi, for example, may bago kang pinurchase na equipment sa item 29, 30, 31, tama po ba sir, no? May bago kang pinurchase na equipment para sa bagong itatayong cell site. So, ang equivalent yan kasi is isang plano, isang professional fee para sa bagong cell site na yan. As compared doon sa number 7, telecommunication system, do you think ba na every now and then may bagong FM and AM station na itatayo sa Pilipinas?
Pero what I'm thinking about, pero what I mean is na yung buong plano, maraming pages yun.
Okay, sorry, I didn't get the point. Tama. I agree.
Totality of the chart, all the pages, or
okay, sorry. Yeah, ang explanation sa akin dito, sa telecommunication system, it's more of yung buong AM station or FM station. So, yun nga, I'll take note of that, yung maraming pages on top of yung siguro mother design.
For instance, in the application of feasibility study of a frequency choice for AM or FM station, maraming pages yun, isang application lang.
Yes, sir.
It's not per page, 6,000 pesos per page or
Alright. So, what are you proposing, sir, since ang isang AM station, pag gagawa ka ba ng isang system, magkaiba ba yung design? I mean, of course, yung pages would be page 1, yung auxiliary niya, page 2 would be yung power, page 3, yung main transmitter. Okay, I'll take note of that. Sige, sir.
Okay, sir. Another question, third set. The third set yung next one.
Third page.
Ayun, tungkol sa employee na PECE. The previous page to that one.
Doon sa challenges.
What if the PECs will sign and seal it for the company? What is the actual prevailing situation in the Philippines, for instance? If an employee is a PECE, and if not the engineering manager or chief engineer, but he is signing the engineering plans. What is the standard situation in the Philippines? Does he charge separately or that's part of his responsibility as an employer?
Okay. Kasi usually ang mga company, sinasamantala na PEC ka na rin lang. Pag-sign ka na rin, wala ka ng extra bayad. Actually, that happened to me,
So I would, because I put it as a challenge because it's really a challenge. So how, since you guys experience it, what is your point of view?
Yes.
And would you have any suggestion or an input on how we could eventually talk to HR or Department of Labor somehow will intervene towards this discussion and align it with PRC and how do you call this one? And IECEP, so the three organizations should align on that point of view. Because more importantly, it's more of labor relations na yan eh.
Meron akong take dyan.
Yes,
ma'am. Kasi it is the normal thing that you do. For example, you have been hired to do something, no? Which is not the PEC thing. And you have been asked to sign a document, kasi bira naman kayo mag-ano, no? For example, yung kumpanya, then the company should pay. So it has to be included in our, tama ka, kasi dapat pumasok din yan sa DOLE. The Department of Labor will now tell the companies that, hey, since that is not part of his job, you have to pay. As if he's a different consultant. But of course, it would be a lot easier. Usually what they do is, you have to hire someone else outside na PEC. Para walang di ba? Sabihin ng kumpanya baka mamaya may ka pa. No?
At pa-chismis ka pa. Hirap. Okay, there are a lot of situations like, of course, engineering manager mo, hindi siya PECE, tapos samantalang ikaw supervisor, ikaw yung PECE, parang paka-aloof naman na, diba? Ikaw yung mag-a-approve na supposedly yung engineering manager. And another case would be, hindi mo, nasa job profile mo, ito lang responsibility mo, and then yung supposed na gagawa, hindi pala siya licensed ECE or hindi pala siya PECE. So at the end of the day, ikaw yung papagawan. So it's a question now of, will it be a conflict of interest? It's a question now of, shall the company will pay you with another fee or they will embed something, a special honorarium? Diba?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You have other thoughts? Sige.
medyo napakadelikado ng mga topic natin, napaka-hot.
Meron po bang move ang IECEP na magtalaga po ng parang police po natin po? Para po siyang nagbabantay lang siya. Ang kanyang task lang ay to go for companies na nag-ooperate sila na wala silang professional ECEs, cell sites na hindi mini-maintain ng mga, kasi marami pong mga high school graduate na magaling maging IT guy na rin eh. Although hindi ko naman inaano lahat kasi nagagamit ako. Pero ang akin lang po sana, move ng IECEP po, kasi forum naman po ito, na meron pong mga, para siyang nagbabantay. Para pong halimbawa sa mga dentista, di ba, mayroong papagawa ng brace tapos mali ang pagkakagabi, pwedeng habulin para meron.
Okay.
Ang task ng taginga, taga-ganon lang siya.
Random audit. I captured 3 questions actually, though it's a statement format. Number 1 would be, we need to create a job for that. Today, to answer that one, I haven't seen in the IECEP community na merong nag-audit. Kasi it's a form of an audit committee na yung sinasabi nyo eh. It may reside in PRC, it may reside under the PRBs, it may reside in IECEP.
Actually, yung klase ng audit na yan, social audit.
Yes, it can be qualified as social audit, but in principle, it's an audit com na siya, na responsibility, IA. We could suggest that one, yes, because you need to create a job for that auditor na capable to audit on the different field of specialization. Okay, item 2, I was able to capture on yung sinasabi mo na mga unlicensed, na they could become eventually a licensed engineer. I believe sa PRC meron yung binibigyan nila ng license kahit hindi sila nag-take ng exam because they had been doing that for 10 years, 20 years, diba? Sorry.
Sa 92, pwede lang yan sa technician ECT.
Yes, yes.
Sa registered electronics engineer, wala.
So, parang application without examination. So, I believe pwede silang mag-grant ng electronics technician approval sa DOH, MPC.
Paano, sir?
So, parang nagtataka ako sa tanong mo. So, it creates now a big idea na, meron pa rin nakakalusot. Oo.
Paano pag mga residential? For example, politician.
Pag mga residential kasi exempted ang mga yun kasi 1 antenna lang. Wala kang iwan doon. Kasi ang kina-qualify ko dito, 5 wattage to 10 wattage na meron kang antenna system, distributed antenna system.
Kunyari, resort, maliit lang. So hindi ka naman mag-deploy ng napakaraming multiple antennas. Gagamit ka ng mga ilang antennas lang. Dapat siguro may naka-specify.
Yung mga safety and health of workers, welfare of workers, nababaliwala. Kaya nga, the government is discouraging yung cabo system. Yung kukuha lang si architect o si engineer ng isang foreman, bahala na si foreman kumuha ng kamag-anak niya para mabuo niya yung construction team. But when you are a legitimate contractor, kailangan you go after the welfare of your workers. Ito, forgive me, 166. So when you say contractor, ito yung definition niya. Parang nag-cite ka ng Bible verse na hindi mo pwedeng nagdagan o bawasan. So sabi ni RA 4566, yung word contractor or constructor is synonymous to builder. Ang detailed definition niya ito. A person, yung person kasi, it's not necessarily the person. A corporation or an association, basta't nagpa-register ka into a legitimate state or agency, you are acquiring an identity. So once you have that identity, you become a person. So the corporation, the partnership, or the sole proprietorship becomes a person. Yun yung person natin dito. When you undertake or offers to undertake or purports to have the capacity to undertake or submits a bid, doon pa lang sa process ng bidding, contractor ka na. Does himself or by or through others, ibig sabihin, siya yung makikipag-usap, pero pwede niyang pagagawa. May plano siyang to be done by another group, yung mga subcontractors and specialty contractors. Ano yung gagawin niya? Construct, alter, repair, add to. Ito yung mga aspects of construction. subtract from, you take out from the structure. You remove, you move. Yung mga call centers na lumipat ng floor, same setup, walang pagbabago. Pag tinignan mo sa layout, magkamukha. But on a different floor, pagbabago ulit yan. Wreck or demolish, yung mga demolition. You demolish a building, a highway, a road, railroad, excavation and other structure, project, development or improvement, or any part of that structure, including the erection of scaffolds. Yung magtatayo pa lang ng indamyo, yung scaffolds or formings, dapat yun licensed contractor. Or other structures of works in connection therewith. So lahat ito is the definition of contractor according to 4566. Ito hiniram ko lang kay Sarah Boya. Kasi in her thesis, pinakita niya yung aspect ng isang construction project. You have the design team. Ito si consultant and the designers. Ito si client or the project owner. Ito si constructor, si contractor. And itong tatlo are governed by laws and regulations. So they cannot make, diba sabi natin sa contract, even if there's an understanding between you, the law is still superior over your contract. Kailangan you have to abide with existing laws. Then si contractor, meron din siyang mga partners, no, sa project, sa site. So ito yun. So si design team, si consultant ang gagawa ng design, si builder yung mag-i-implement ng project. So dun sa mga permitting na nakikita natin, usually yung design side, si consultant. Yung supervision, usually si contractor. Kasi siya yung talagang gagawa. Si client, siya yung project owner, siya yung nag-a-apply ng permit. Si client. Yung sinasabi natin sa PECE, si locator, siya si client. In the end of 2014, ito data of December 31, ang registered na contractors were 6,614. Ito lang yung license sa government sa atin. I think sa Malaysia, more than 100,000. Kasi sa Pilipinas, maraming fly-by-night contractors. So, of this, yung AAA natin and AA is only 6%. Parang si 128 and 270 lang yun. Then yung medium size A and B, 34%. And the rest, C, D, and E. Or trade, yung C, D. So, kokonti. Kokonti talaga yung licensed contractors. Then, ito yung latest na list in September of 2015, ito lang. There are, in the roster of contractors, there are 6,406 licensed contractors. Diyan sa 6,406 na yan, only 0.6% ang may classification na communication and navigational facilities. So ito lang yung companies na undertaking electronics projects. Karamihan ng mga fire protection, mga ibang electrical, nasa electrical. Kaya dun sa specialization and classification, kokonti lang yung electronics. Kaya nga sabi ko kanina, navigational and communication facilities lang ang mayroon. Siguro we could take the initiative of recommending to the PCAP na buhayin yung management, building management system, yung BMS, as one classification. Kasi yung MPEF, yung kay Sir Raymond, na-classify lang last year. Bago lang yun. Kailan lang yun? Yung bagong specialty classification. There are two licenses dun sa PCAP. One is the regular, yung isa yung license. Ang regular natin, ito yung binibigay sa mga local contractors. And regular, yung pag sinabi natin domestic contractors, registered sila sa Pilipinas. So that would include organizations or corporations na may foreign content, maximum of 40% equity lang. And this is subject to annual renewal. So every year, nagre-renew yan, yung regular license. Yung special license, these are given to the joint venture groups, no? Consortium, foreign contractors, and project owners. Pero, ang difference lang ito, for a particular project lang. Pag natapos yung project niya, if the project is completed, tapos na rin yung expire na yung kanyang license. So it's a single project undertaking lang. There is also another information. Yung sa atin kasi, di ba, konti lang yung AAA and AA. Kaya nga may bago silang classification na gagawing quadruple A, yung 4 na A. Kasi there are only a few contractors who has the capability to get projects beyond 1 billion. Usually kasi pag 1 billion, foreign contractors na gawa pa. So out of the almost less than 300 na ano, siguro mga 13 sabi nila eh. Mga 13 lang dun sa AAA na yun ang pwede magsama-sama para ma-meet nila yung 1 billion project. So, yung validity, yung regular license is good for 1 year. Ang calendar year sa PECA is July 1 to June 30. Yun yung calendar year. Yung special license naman, single project lang siya until matapos. Okay? Tuloy-tuloy lang yan until matapos. Ito yung mga rules governing ng license. It is not transferable. May practice kasi daya sa industry na hinihiram yung license ng ibang contractor. Ibang gumagamit, pero babayaran niya lang for a certain fee si license. Usually ito, mga businessman ang pumapasok dito. Then, it is valid only for the 1 fiscal year and it has to be renewed annually. Ito yung pagdating sa bidding, kailangan yung license mo is current. Once you're not able to renew your license and you're submitting a bid or offer to a client, magiging void yun. So kailangan you renew your license before June. Kasi June 30 yung cut-off, yung end of the expiration ng isang license. So usually ang schedule nila from January to I think May or April. Kasi mahirap na pag umabot ka pa ng June. Kasi nandyan na yung karamihan na nagre-renew. Then, meron kanya-kanyang classification. Yung general engineering, general building, or specialty construction. Kung ano lang yung classification ng license mo, hanggang dun ka lang. Pagka ang classification mo is electrical works, you cannot get electronic works. Ang classification mo is mechanical works, you cannot get electrical works. But you are allowed to get multiple classifications as long as you have STEs for that classification. So subject for review siya every year para mo siya ma-renew. Then the license category can be upgraded. Ibig sabihin, if you start with the entry level of trade, pwedeng associate lang siya, safety officer. Sa fix kasi yung structure sa offices. Sa construction, very dynamic yan. Yung condition ni today, maybe tomorrow iba na. Kasi umaakyat ka from ground zero, ibang level ka naman bukas. May nakatayong scaffolds, may nakaabang dyan na welding machine, may mga naka-states na raw material. So everyday nagbabago yung condition. So very high risk yung construction. Kaya very crucial yung role ng safety practitioners rin. And ito, you get them from licensed contractors. Kaya nga makikita mo, naka-chinelas lang o naka-rubber shoes. Unlicensed yun. Or si licensed, nag-TTP. Kasi yung mga safety PPEs na to, these are integral part of the contract. Binabayaran ni client yun.